All right, this is interesting. If you get paid a salary and you don't get overtime, well, you know what? You may still qualify. Ann Hunter Williams of the Higgins Firm is here to tell you that what a lot of us think as far as overtime pay is not necessarily true. You think if you're on a salary, even if you work over 40 hours, you're not entitled. At least that's what the bosses are saying anyway.
Right.
So when is that not the case?
Well, the salary basis test is only one part of the test. The other part is what your duties are. One thing people need to know is if you're in one of those white-collar jobs, an administrative sort of a job, if you're not making $4.55 a week, even if you're being paid on salary, you are always entitled to overtime.
You are.
So if you're getting a flat rate of $300 a week, and you're doing a job that's not exempt from overtime, you should be paid overtime for those extra hours. So if your boss says, hey, why don't you work here 40 weeks, come in on Saturday and help me with this project, and I'm not going to pay you for that. That boss is actually stealing wages from you that you should be paid for.
Okay, so what does a person do in that situation? Should they go to the employer and point this out? Should they go to their HR? Should they call you? I mean, I'm trying to see, is there a step before
Sure.
calling you and saying, is this a case?
Right. I always advise people, if the company is large enough that they have an HR department, go ahead and talk to your HR and see what can be done. Mm-hmm. A lot of employers, unfortunately, will retaliate against an employee for bringing that to their attention. So
Right.
retaliation is something that they have to be concerned about. And that is illegal. So if the employer does retaliate against you, you bring it to their attention, look, I think I should be paid overtime. And they say, you know what, hit the road. Then that really is two issues that you've got going on, two
Right.
illegal acts.
And then they really should call you.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
All right, to get more information on this, especially if you are salary, you feel like maybe the employer is taking advantage of you, you can contact the Higgins Firm and ask them your questions, and that'll be confidential, of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you.